What if the story you learned in school about how people came to be is just the beginning of a much bigger, more amazing story? Sumerian tablets from long ago talk about the Anunnaki, who were powerful beings that came from the stars. People from Australia's Aboriginal groups have stories about the Wandjina, who are sky spirits who helped build the first societies. Hindu texts talk about the Vimanas, which were beautiful flying machines that took advanced beings through the sky. Native American groups from the Hopi to the Lakota all share stories about star people who helped their ancestors. These aren't just myths or random events that happened. They sound like echoes of a history that has been kept secret, a truth that big science has not yet been ready to accept. Modern channeled messages from beings like the Pleiadians, Arcturians, and Sirians start to fit together with these old stories in a stunning way. We're not by ourselves. We've never been. Behind the scenes of our world, an old group of beings called the Galactic Federation has been gently leading our spiritual journey for a very long time. Who are they, though? Why do they want us to wake up so badly? And why are they starting to show up at this very moment in history? Everything you thought you knew about yourself and your purpose on Earth could be wrong. Make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications if you want to learn more about these answers. This is more than just following a channel. It's a promise to find your own way. As we remember, let's go on this journey together. Share this video with a friend or family member who is currently grappling with the same serious issues. One share can sometimes be all it takes to wake up someone who is looking for this message. We need to go back in time to a time when Earth was just a swirl of stardust in order to fully understand the Galactic Federation's mission. At that time, the universe was already full of ancient civilizations whose spiritual knowledge would make our most learned leaders look like toddlers learning to walk. Think about this. Beings of pure light and consciousness were already moving between star systems while Earth was still building its first oceans. They did not travel in simple metal ships, but through portals to other worlds that they made by controlling space and time. These weren't the cold gray aliens that people think of today. These are the Lyrans, our space ancestors. They live in the constellation Lyra, which means harp of the heavens. The Lyrans are a very important part of the history of our galaxy. You could call them Christ consciousness because they were one of the first humanoid races to reach a state where the individual ego melts away into love and wisdom for all. What makes their story so beautiful, though, is that they didn't keep this knowledge to themselves. Instead, they turned into gardeners in space and spread the seeds of life and consciousness all over the galaxy. When you look up at the Pleiades, the 7 sisters that have enchanted people for ages, you see one of their most important gifts to us. That star system now has beings that would go on to become some of Earth's most loving and loyal guardians. The Lyrans also helped build civilizations around Vega, a bright blue star in their home constellation, and they helped beings in the Arcturus system grow spiritually in the early stages. You could think of them as the spiritual grandparents of many alien races. Each one carries a special bit of Lyran knowledge and grows their own gifts to help the plan of the universe. But the galaxy wasn't just meant to grow in peace. As light spread, a shadow began to appear in the Orion system, not from all Orion beings, but from some groups that had chosen to stay apart. While the Lyrans and their children and grandchildren valued unity and helping others, these Orion groups became fixated on power, hierarchy, and a path that was all about service to self. After that, there were wars in the galaxy that were not fought with weapons like we know them today. There were wars going on in many dimensions at the same time, where planets could be moved out of existence and space-time itself turned into a battlefield. We live in a time when civilizations that had grown over millions of years fell apart in what seems like an instant. The pain of these wars sent shock waves through the collective consciousness that can still be felt in the energy field of our planet today. During this very dark time in the history of the galaxy, a deep idea began to grow among the light-aligned civilizations. What if they could work together toward a common goal instead of going to war over and over again? They are not there to conquer, but to protect free will and help spiritual growth all over the universe. It wasn't just a dream of hope. It took years of careful planning and spiritual growth to bring together the groups that would become the Galactic Federation. The Arcturians were naturally in charge of this new group because they knew how to use technologies that could heal a planet's ecosystem and work on a soul level across lifetimes. The Pleiadians brought something just as important, a deep understanding of how to heal emotions and give wise advice from the heart. Through genuine empathy, they taught us the emotional intelligence we needed to stop future wars. People from the galaxy Andromeda came with an even bigger view, which helped shape the Federation's long-term goals. The Sirians gave their knowledge of sacred geometry and sound because they knew that everything in the universe is made up of vibration and harmony. What made this alliance so revolutionary was that none of the races that were in it were driven by the need to be in charge. They had learned the hard way that the only way to really be powerful is to connect with source consciousness, which is the creative force of the universe. This is where our story as humans is woven into this big cosmic tapestry. These beings started to heal and guide people slowly, and Earth became one of their most important projects. Our world was picked for a big experiment in consciousness, not because we were weak and needed to be saved. Every old culture on Earth has stories about these interactions. The Watchers in the Book of Enoch were people who worked for the Federation. Native American stories about the Sky People and the Shining Ones, and Hindu texts about divine beings all point to the same truth. We have always been in touch with and guided by our family in space. What the Federation does is based on what they call the Prime Directive, which is the universal law of not interfering. They can't or won't go against our free will by making us choose solutions. They've never left us, though. When we ask them to come into our hearts through prayer and meditation, they do. And they are allowed to step in when actions by humans put the whole galactic community at risk. It changes how we see the world now that we know about this history. The same controlling forces that once made the galaxy a mess are still at work here on Earth. We are not alone, though, because the Federation is here. We are all part of a big family of light that has helped people work together many times. It's not important to know if they are here. The question is whether or not we are ready to remember who we are and exercise our right to speak for Earth in this group of galaxies. If you agree with this idea of working together, click the like button to show your support. Each like is a vote for a future based on love and unity, and they all work together to make this reality possible. If the story of these beings choosing unity speaks to you, comment, "I am a bridge for unity." This is your statement that you will choose to work together instead of fight and understand others, instead of dividing them in the world around you. You're probably wondering what the Federation is now that we've discussed the cosmic history that shaped it. A lot of people get this wrong. You may not think that the Galactic Federation is what it seems to be. Starships are not being used by a cosmic military to keep the galaxy safe. It's not a galactic government telling other planets what to do. Those are just human ideas that come from not fully understanding what power is. Why would you set yourselves up like an army if you're no longer fighting? There are no rules or fears that hold the Federation together. Instead, they share a love for the universe and a deep respect for cosmic law. It would be like trying to explain the internet to someone from the 1800s with the way we think about it now. The Federation works with no central authority. There isn't a capital planet or a top leader. It works by working together so smoothly that it makes our most advanced organizations look slow. Imagine a flock of birds flying through the sky, turning at the same time. There is no leader or order, only a shared understanding. That shows more about how the Federation works. Its core is a high council, though our ideas of hierarchy shape even that term. This council is made up of smart people from many star nations. Being a leader doesn't depend on how much power or experience someone has. It depends on how conscious they are and how in tune they are with universal love. They don't argue like our politicians do when they need to make a choice. These beings are aware of things on a higher level than us, where ego and personal goals don't exist. They look at a situation from every angle at once and use what some people call the living library of the universe, or Akashic field, to figure out what will happen that is best for everyone. It's not just the present that they can see. What they do will have effects in space and time. The Federation is also made up of a lot of different sub-councils. There is a healing council made up of beings who are so good at medicine that it's beyond our wildest dreams. They can fix not only bodies but also space-time itself. There is a council for planetary stability that helps keep natural forces in balance on worlds like Earth that are going through big changes. The Spiritual Mentoring Council may be the most important thing for us right now. These are beings from different civilizations who have already gone from being separate to being one. They completely understand what we're going through because they've been there too. They give us advice and support, but they always respect our free will. There are also the keepers of the cosmic grids, whose job it is to keep the energy paths that connect star systems and let them talk to each other faster than light. You can think of them as engineers who work with the galaxy's living energy. They talk to each other over very long distances by using a type of quantum entanglement for consciousness. This makes networks where minds can connect across star systems. They find it just as easy as we do to talk to a neighbor. Not every new civilization is just invited to join. As they grow spiritually, they are gently led. The point isn't to have the fastest ships, but to show that you can handle power with care and wisdom. Everything about this building is a living example of what society can become. Imagine a world where different cultures share their strengths to solve our common problems rather than competing nations. The Federation shows us that being united doesn't mean everyone has to be the same, and that working together is much stronger than competing. You are already following the Federation's rules every time you choose to work together in your own life. You might not know it yet, though. Let's learn more about the real beings that are part of this cosmic alliance. These are not just ideas, they are real, loving civilizations, and many of them have been working with people for a very long time. Let me start by telling you about the Pleiadians. You may already be in touch with the energy of the stars if you have ever felt a strong pull toward them or waves of pure love wash over you while you pray. These beings come from the Pleiades star cluster, which is also known as the Seven Sisters. They give off a feeling that can only be described as liquid love. Their main job is to heal the heart. The Pleiadians often look like beautiful, luminous beings with loving blue eyes and hair that seems to glow. A lot of them come to Earth as starseeds and live human lives to help bring higher frequencies of love into our consciousness. They don't just watch from afar. A lot of people talk to them in their dreams, where they visit crystal cities with singing gardens or have sudden healing insights. They work through the heart chakra and remind us that love is more than just a feeling. It's what the universe is made of. We are now ready to meet the Arcturians. The Arcturians are the master builders of consciousness, while the Pleiadians heal hearts. They come from Arcturus, which is one of the brightest stars in the sky, and are vibrating so fast that they often look like shapes made of light. People often say that they are tall and thin, with big dark eyes that hold a lot of knowledge. Arcturian ships aren't made, they grow. Crystalline beings that are alive and exist outside of linear time make up these vessels. Sacred geometry and sound are used by the Arcturians to heal not only people, but also the energy grids of whole planets. Behind the scenes, they are working to make the Earth's ley lines more stable and get rid of the heavy energy that is built up from hundreds of years of war. If you ever woke up feeling like you were in a light chamber that healed you, you may have been on an Arcturian ship while you were asleep, sending light codes, information packets that slowly improve your DNA and make you more aware, is what they do. The Sirians take us into a mystery that is even stranger. They are linked to the Sirius star system and have had a close relationship with Earth since the beginning. Egyptian astronomers knew about Sirius B thousands of years before we did. The Dogon tribe in Africa has had detailed knowledge of the Sirian system passed down from generation to generation. Sirians are master builders who know how to use sound, geometry, and intention to build things that exist in both the physical and non-physical worlds. With its perfect mathematical alignments, the Great Pyramid is an example of Sirian technology that was made to raise consciousness. And here's a beautiful fact. Dolphins and whales are thought to be manifestations of Sirian consciousness on Earth. Their songs carry frequency codes that help keep our oceans and atmosphere in balance. They are more than just animals. They protect our world. The Andromedans are from the galaxy Andromeda, which is close by, and they see things differently than we do. They know a lot about what you might call reality architecture, which helps societies break out of control systems and take control of their own lives. They often look like tall, bright beings that are almost see-through. They have the power to help us see and get rid of the beliefs that hold us back. They may have given you a gentle push if you've ever had a sudden aha moment about how our social structures are just illusions. Then there are the Lyrans. They were one of the first races and maybe the oldest civilization of humanoids in our galaxy. People often say they look like cats or lions, and they represent divine leadership and bravery. Their history is full of both amazing high points and terrible galactic wars. This is why so many human souls with Lyran genetics feel a deep calling to lead with love instead of power. Avian beings that look like glowing birds are also part of the Federation, as well as non-physical groups that exist as pure consciousness and many others. What's beautiful about them is how different they are. People may have different ideas about how to solve problems, but they all agree on one thing. Every living thing is an expression of the one infinite creator, and evolution must always serve love, freedom, and the soul's journey. If these descriptions make you feel like you know them or like you're back home, please let us know by writing in the comments. I remember my starry origins. Typing these words helps to bring this deep memory back into the present, making your connection to the family of stars that has never forgotten you stronger. If the Galactic Federation is so strong and kind, why don't they just land and fix all our problems? Is a question that people often ask. There are basic rules in the universe that all living things must follow. These rules are so important that not even the most advanced beings can break them without throwing everything out of whack. The law of free will is the most important of these. It's kind of like seeing a butterfly struggle to get out of its cocoon. It breaks your heart to rip the cocoon open and help the butterfly, but if you do, its wings will never get strong enough to fly and it will die. The Federation has the same view of people. They know that evolution that is forced is not real evolution. We need to find our own strengths, decide what to do, and learn from our mistakes. This is why they don't speak to each other very often. Real growth has to come from inside. This brings us to the law of one, which is the beautiful idea that everything in the world is an expression of the same consciousness. People are not superior to Pleiadians, just like adults are not superior to children. They are just on a different part of the same journey that will never end. They don't see us as a primitive species that needs to be saved. Instead, they see us as family members who have been apart for a long time and are now waking up. They also follow the law of karma, which is also known as cosmic cause and effect. They know that every action has a reaction in time, and that messing with things in the wrong way can cause karmic knots that affect many worlds. This is why their help is so sneaky a lot of the time. Just be careful not to mistake subtlety for inaction. The Federation is always talking to Earth, but not in the ways we might think. They send waves of light and energy to keep the grids on our planet stable through frequency interventions. A lot of their work is also with starseeds, which are souls that have come to Earth from other star systems to help with the awakening. These people often feel like they don't belong here, but they have a deep understanding of the truths of the universe. They are living bridges that raise the frequency of the planet just by being here. When the Federation steps in more directly, it's usually because of a disaster that threatens the whole world, like the start of the nuclear age. Nuclear weapons don't just hurt Earth, they tear space-time apart, which hurts everyone. Their ultimate goal is not to make us reliant on them, but to protect our independence so we can join the rest of the galaxy as equals. Every synchronicity you notice, every sudden insight, and every vivid dream are their marks on your mind. They are gentle reminders that you are part of something much bigger than what you have been told. Make a claim for your spiritual power in the comments by saying, "I am the creator of my own awakening." This is a sacred principle that you must understand and accept. This sentence should help you let go of any need to be saved and fully accept your role as the master writer of your soul's journey. What does the Federation do to talk to us if they don't land ships on the White House lawn? I call what they do the language of consciousness. It's made up of energy transmissions and vibrational frequencies that talk directly to our souls. Channeled communication is one of the most popular methods. Messages of love and wisdom have been coming from Federation sources like Ashtar of the Ashtar Command, the Arcturian Council, and the Pleiadian High Council for more than 100 years. When you see these messages, you need to be smart. Real communications from the Federation are always filled with love, never fear. They give you power, don't expect you to obey them blindly, and never make you dependent on them. They are calm, wise, and clear. Dreams are another strong way they talk to us. Your soul can go where it wants when your conscious mind is asleep. A lot of you are going to Federation lightships in your dreams, going to classrooms between stars, or getting healed and having your DNA upgraded. You might feel very peaceful when you wake up or suddenly understand a difficult spiritual idea without knowing where it came from. These aren't just dreams. They're real interactions with many levels. Then, there are the more subtle ways that people can touch you while you're awake. So many things happen at the same time that it can't be a coincidence. Number patterns that keep showing up, like 1111 or 333, just when you need help. It feels like information just appears out of nowhere. You are on the right track and you are not alone. These are all gentle signs from the universe. Some holy places on Earth, like Mount Shasta, Machu Picchu, and the pyramids of Giza, are energetic gateways where the line between worlds is not very thick. These spots make it easier to sense their presence and follow their lead. Their communication with us isn't just meant to inform us, it's also meant to get us involved. Every real contact is meant to bring up memories that have been dormant in your soul and bring you back in touch with your higher self. They're not here to save us, they're just here to remind us that we can do it. Their messages help us remember who we really are by gently nudging us in the right direction. The Earth is going through the biggest change in its history right now as you listen to this. You can measure this change in frequency. It's not a figure of speech. The Earth has been in a state of third-dimensional density for a very long time. This is the frequency of fear, separation, and survival. But things are changing. The Earth is moving up into a fifth-dimensional frequency as our solar system moves through the photon belt, a high-frequency band of light. In this state of unity consciousness, spiritual freedom and love that doesn't depend on anything else become the norm. The Galactic Federation is very much involved in helping with this. They are not in charge of it. Instead, they are like cosmic midwives helping people give birth to a new Earth. They are keeping the energy grids around our planet strong and sending light frequencies to help keep things stable during the transition. If you've been having ascension symptoms like strong emotions that need to be cleared, vivid dreams, a sense that time is moving faster, or a sudden spiritual awakening, your body and soul are adjusting to these higher frequencies. So why is Earth so important? Our planet is referred to as a living library because it contains such a vast array of genetic, elemental, and spiritual information. A planet like Earth ascending sends a wave of good changes to many other worlds, making them better places to live. Your personal growth is making a difference in the galaxy. Of course, there are things that are working against this change. For thousands of years, evil forces have tried to keep people in fear and powerlessness. But as Earth's frequency rises, these old control systems are naturally breaking down. The Federation doesn't use weapons to fight these groups, they just shine light on them. There can't be darkness where there is light. They have a dream for the highest timeline of our planet, a world where people live in harmony with nature, technology serves consciousness, and all borders disappear so that everyone can work together in love. A world where every child knows they are an infinite soul, having a human experience as they grow up. This possible future is not just a dream, it is written in our DNA as a whole. You have a bigger part to play in this than you think. To make that beautiful timeline come true, choose love over fear and unity over division every time. You are not just a bystander to this great awakening, you are an important and active part of making it happen. Bring your energy to this idea. Giving this video a like is like saying yes to this lovely timeline for people. It tells the universe that you want to be a part of the solution and a lighthouse for the new Earth. Do you really believe that you are a part of this big change on Earth? If so, write in the comments, "I am an anchor for the new Earth." This is more than just words. It's an energetic promise to hold the frequency of love and hope, which will help make the beautiful future our hearts know is possible come true. Accept your purpose with courage by commenting, "I am here on purpose for a purpose," if the description of volunteering for this big mission speaks to you deeply. This affirmation will help you fully align with the sacred promise your soul made to be of service right now, getting rid of any feelings of being lost or out of place you may still have. This entire story we have been exploring is not really about beings in far-off star systems. It's about you. It's about that quiet knowing in your heart that has always told you that you came here for a reason, for something much bigger than you were told. That feeling of being a stranger in a strange land, that homesickness for a place you can't name. Your soul remembers what your mind has forgotten. You have danced between dimensions, you have spanned galaxies, and you volunteered to be here on Earth right now for this exact mission. The Galactic Federation is not here to save you. They are here to remind you of who you already are, a sovereign, multi-dimensional being of light with the power to change reality simply through your presence and your choices. Their invitation is not to believe, but to remember. Perhaps you have seen the signs in your own life, recurring dreams of starships, an unexplainable emotional reaction when you look at the stars, not fear, but a feeling of recognition, like seeing a picture of your childhood home, natural healing abilities that have started to emerge, knowing things you never learned. These experiences are activations, orchestrated by your own soul in partnership with your galactic guides. They are timed perfectly for when you are ready to expand. The loneliness that so many starseeds feel is a homesickness for your true family. But knowing you have a cosmic family doesn't take away the challenges of being human. It gives them a profound meaning. It explains why you have always felt different, why you were so drawn to helping humanity awaken. This connection to them strengthens through simple acts of alignment, meditation, spending time in nature, working with crystals, listening to your heart. As you raise your own vibration, you naturally become a bridge between worlds. Your very presence becomes a permission slip for others to begin their own journey of remembering. The final question is no longer, is the Galactic Federation real? The question is, are you ready to remember who you are and why you came here? You are not a passive observer in this cosmic drama. The very fact that you have listened this far means that something deep inside you recognizes this truth. The call to awaken is sounding. It's a call to rise into your most authentic self, to choose love in every moment, and to trust the wisdom of your own heart above all else. You are a pillar of light for others, not by preaching, but by simply being. The old systems are crumbling, not because they are being attacked, but because people like you are withdrawing their energy from them and placing it into creating a new reality. You were never truly disconnected from your cosmic family. You were only asleep, dreaming a human dream. But now, the alarm clock is ringing. Your soul recognizes the call. Trust what you know in your heart to be true. This journey of awakening continues with every step you take. To receive more guidance and wisdom that supports your path, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Think of it as your personal library for cosmic remembrance.